Hey, so I am on my first cruise. I'm actually with my boyfriend and his family this week. So I'm gonna try and record all the fun things because this is like my first time doing a cruise. So I don't know what to expect, but I hear it's just like an adult playground. So I'm pumped to share all the fun stuff. Today, I'm gonna do some grocery shopping with Papa Vogel. Shannon's not here this week, so it's just gonna be me, the Kristin Chronicles. So I'm gonna do some food prepping because it's kind of crappy out, as you can tell. But he's gonna join me on my little errand today and have a little father-daughter bonding today. Okay, so I finished meal prepping, so I decided to go to my local library. I've been kind of trying to be dedicated into doing at least a craft that's outside of pottery, obviously, because pottery is its own little sort of thing, where I could just feel like a child again. So I'm going to go into the library, I'm going to do a little bit of collaging, and then I think I'm going to do a couple of more errands, since it is crappy out and it's kind of inspiring me to kind of get a couple things done that I have put off for sure. And so I'm going to do it today, I think. My friend Caitlin got this one weekend that we were hanging out, and I was kind of obsessed with it, and I've literally never seen this brand ever, but I had it at the Michaels, super random, so I was like, this felt like a sign for a little bit of a treat yourself moment. It's not cherry, it's watermelon. She got us a cherry. This is watermelon, so I'm gonna try it out. It's honestly like a giant licorice, but apparently it's a better candy. I don't know. Oh, that's not bad. I like this one. Okay, errands part 2. I am going to, because I got a little treat yourself moment. I wanted to get a treat for my babies, because my niece, as much as I love her, the beautiful baby princess that she is, she keeps destroying Elsa's toys. So I'm kind of close to the Petco, so I figured maybe we'll get them a little bit of a treat.
Gym session, and now we're just gonna have a day. Last night we actually did go out to dinner. We went to this really cool Italian restaurant and then like saw a show after. Something I really like about the cruise is there's always something going on. They have like these itineraries that they give you, and they like let you know the events, and you can decide whether you want to join them or not. Some you need reservations, some you don't. We kind of like to do the walking because I don't like committing too much. But speaking of committing, we actually did commit to one really fun event today. We're going to be painting, which I am super pumped by. It's really sweet. They know how much I love art, so they're like, let's do a paint and sip. So that's what we're doing today. But I do plan to explore and show you more of the cruise since I didn't get to yesterday. So I'm excited to do that today. We got reservations at a really nice French restaurant. So while I am getting ready, I thought it could be fun to tell you my impressions of the cruise life since this is my first time. So something that like I quickly adjusted to is the fact that everything is just so accessible. I feel really grateful that as a kid, my parents did love to, like they did enjoy traveling, but their travel was more resort life. So I feel like very similar to resorts, like all-inclusive resorts. It's just that in the sea. So I kind of like love that I don't have to like think much. Things are like honestly done for you. I know with Kristin and I, the way that we travel, which is honestly definitely still my preference, but I like to explore cities. I kind of like getting lost in the process, meeting new people, and it's not that you can't meet people on here, but I don't know. I just think that there's like a different vibe to it. But I will say the relax mode of just like not, of really turning your brain off there is like, and just being kind of waited on to a degree, which is kind of nice too. It's been such an experience. I'm really grateful that I'm able to do this for a first time, especially as an adult, because I can drink and like enjoy it. Because as a kid doing the resorts, I did the camps and I didn't obviously drink. You're not allowed. But it was still really cool to experience that. I'm excited to see what else they have to offer and all the other excursions outside of the boat.
So there's a first time for everything. The matchbox broke when I walked in, which was such a bummer because that was supposed to be a gift that I was going to give, and now I'm a little bit behind on what I'm making. But lesson learned, it means that I need to make these walls a little thicker. So when I'm slabbing this clay, I decided to not make it as thin as I had it before, which is an easy fix, honestly. But it's just frustrating because I do have kind of a deadline to make on this, and now I'm unsure if I'm going to get it done on time. So I'm definitely going to be working a little bit on overtime right now, working through 3 matchboxes right now, which is definitely a lot in a short amount of time. But because I do have a little bit of practice now, I feel like I finally have the groove and sort of a step-by-step process of on how I think this will work best. The key definitely was making these walls thicker, and also another really good tip is allowing the clay to dry a little bit more to keep it a little bit more firm. This kind of helped the walls to stay a little bit more upright, and also allowed me to have a little bit more time in being able to put these walls together in a not so janky way, because they definitely warp a little bit when they're a little bit too wet. So that kind of allowed me to figure out like, okay, this is the way it's going to work, which was awesome. Another really good tip that I realized was using newspaper to put inside of the matchboxes. That way it didn't warp too much on the bottom and still allowed it to create its nice form.
Do Hot Pockets count as dumplings?
Okay, so tonight I went to a silent book club, and I have a really funny story to share because I just like couldn't stop laughing. So obviously, as the name kind of gives it away, it is pretty silent when you're reading, and I don't know what possessed me to think that eating a bag of chips was a good idea. Literally, I was so loud. Like, I feel like every crunch, every person just kept staring at me, but like, I was so hungry. I was like, well, I have to eat something. So I'm like nibbling on these little chips. You know, by the end of it, I made no friends. But it's okay. I was kind of being a little antisocial tonight because I was very dedicated in reading the book. And then afterwards, I'm like really tired from doing pottery today. So I wasn't as like social as I know I should have been, and kind of the intention of why I did the silent book club. But it's okay. I'm gonna next time definitely go out of my comfort zone and talk to more people. Our first stop is Port Canaveral in Florida, and so we decided that we wanted to like have a beach day, and I found this really cool spot, this like tiki bar on Cocoa Beach, and it's right actually attached to the Hilton Hotel. So we decided to do that, get some pina coladas, and have a beach day. I think I'm just gonna read and just enjoy the relaxation. And later, I'm crossing fingers. We just found out that there could be a rocket launch because we're right by the really cool like NASA place, I guess, with spaceships, which is really, really cool. So we might see that later, crossing fingers. But for now, we're gonna enjoy the beach and relax and read. Okay, so fun fact, last year, Shannon and I did this like scalp massage thing. It was kind of trending on TikTok, and they had a bunch of them in Queens, but there's one particular place, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, so I apologize in advance, but it's called Guefe, one where it looked amazing, but it was booked, so we ended up going somewhere else, which was still great, but they just opened a second location on Long Island, and I just found out, so I decided to book a scalp massage hair thing. I didn't wash my hair today on purpose, so it looks a little gross, but I'm so excited to take you and to try it out. Okay, so that was awesome. I absolutely recommend 10 out of 10 experience. Honestly, as someone who is just always behind a desk, I have really tight shoulders and things like that. Throughout the experience of like getting the scalp massage and the shampoos and stuff like that, they were giving like shoulder massages, arm, like I felt like every second I was just like so relaxed. And at the end, like it was so nice. Like I feel like my hair feels so much lighter and it feels like it can breathe. I don't know how to describe it well, but it feels really nice. Like it's so soft, I can't stop touching it. They don't style it, obviously. They just blow dry it at the end, which is totally fine with me because, you know, I'll just style it myself when I get home. But it was so relaxing. Absolutely recommend if it's something that you want to do as like a treat yourself.
We finally made it! We are in the island of Nassau in the Bahamas, and we're gonna have a day. We don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we're just gonna see what they have to offer and enjoy. But the one thing I'm definitely gonna do is go into the water because I am itching for it. The water is so blue and I'm so excited. Going to a dinner and show, outfit, OOTD, haven't done any of them. First one out of like 5 I've done.
We have the matchboxes back. So this is the real test to see if these matchboxes are good to go. I do everything by eye, which is definitely, I would not recommend, but I just am too lazy to get a ruler. So this is where I start to test out to make sure that everything fits perfectly. And I'm actually really proud. It does, and I think it's awesome that I don't need a ruler for this. But after checking out all the sizes to make sure everything fits, the next part is taking out all my favorite tools that I use when I'm underglazing and etching out the design of the piece. So what's great about this black underglaze is that it really pops against the white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint on top of these pieces on areas that I know I'm going to plan to etch out. I kind of already have an idea of what I want to do because these are gifts for people that I love deeply, and I'm going to make them pretty custom to the interests that I know that they really like. And side note, as I was doing my underglazing, 2 of my pieces came out, the Elsa and Kiki mugs. I am so excited how they turned out. All the ladies were obsessed. Now back to the fun part. So the first matchbox I'm working on is inspired by The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. If you know, you know. My bestie is obsessed with it, as am I. So I was kind of geeking out working through this one. And I'm kind of in love with it. And also another thing I'm in love with is this dog. Also, its name is Levi Ackerman. If you know Attack on Titan, you know. So now we're back to the second matchbox. I am super excited for this one too because I have a Pisces lover here. So I decided to work on this one with a star sign. I actually was inspired by the plate that I made for myself. I figured it actually was really cute and really simple, which I think is totally perfect for her. But I did want to add a little bit of something inside of the matchbox. So I decided to create this sort of constellation of stars to kind of mimic a little bit the top part of the matchbox. But I'm super excited that these are all completed, and the next phase is glazing. Okay, pottery day today. It was really fun. I ended up wrapping up all of my little matchboxes. Honestly, I might make another one just for myself because the ones I'm making are gifts, and I'm actually kind of jealous. I'm like, I want to keep all of them, but I'm not. These are gifts, so I'm going to give them away. But I do want to kind of have one for myself, so I think I'm going to do that at some point while I'm, in pottery still. But which was fun. And a dog came into the studio today, like that's already like making my day even more amazing. But, which is really exciting, and why I'm even dressed, because normally I don't dress up for pottery. This is probably the nicest I will ever look in the studio. But today is National Margarita Day, so that means that I am going to go grab a margarita, probably some salsa, guac chips sort of ordeal with my mom and my sister. I called them, I was like, hey, do you guys want to meet me up and have some margs? And they said yes. So I am waiting for them, and then we're gonna go head out.
We woke up today to find out that due to the storms, we're heading back to New York a little early. While I'm a little sad to lose an extra day of warm weather, we made the most of it by soaking up everything this cruise has to offer, from mini golf, massages, hibachi, board games, and shows. We kept ourselves busy, so I can't complain. There are many ways to travel, and I'm grateful to have checked this experience off my list. It was an amazing trip, but I'm also really excited to be back in New York with Kristin and settle back into my routine.
Okay, so today I ended up going to a cafe to work. I'm trying to make it more of a habit to go to some sort of cafe at least once a week to be surrounded by people, you know? Because working remotely can be really difficult to kind of like motivate yourself to get dressed and do the thing. So I decided to do that today and go to a cafe I've never been to. It was actually really good. Like, I kind of did take a little bit of a trip to get there, but totally worth it. Honestly, I want to give a shout out to the people who worked there, because literally after I was like having my matcha and I was like obviously like in the middle of working, one of the workers, and I'm like kicking myself I didn't get her name, literally was like gave me a cup of water, and like without me having to ask or anything like that. It was just like super kind. You could just tell the environment's really lovely. So I definitely will be back. Really good working space. So, and Wi-Fi was great. So I obviously that's a bonus, because sometimes you get to a cafe and you just don't know what you're gonna get. But one of the biggest pulls of why I wanted to come to this particular spot is actually because I really wanted to go on a manifesting walk today, but I wanted to go to a different location to do that. So we're actually close to one of my favorites, but it's kind of like I go the back way to go. So I'm gonna take you with me, and we're gonna go a little bit of a manifesting walk. Okay, so currently I am on the Greenbelt Trail, which connects to the park that I'm blanking on that I initially wanted to take you to, but it is a little cold and I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the way there. So I think I'm just gonna show you my favorite part of this little walk that I do enjoy before we actually get to the park part is this body of water. Hold on, wanted to share it with you. I think what I like about bodies of water in general is all the wildlife that's over here. You always get to catch a glimpse of either a fish or a bird or a family. It's always really nice. So I like to come to body of water to kind of manifest and sit and be still and kind of just see everything around me. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll let you enjoy the view.